Hey, Advanced Farm Life. Doing this platform build for the water catchment. So I'm going to do this is kind of an experiment one. This is just what I use to square this up. It's basically got this screwed through both of these boards into a little piece of 2x4 or a 4x4 down there, and that would allow me to move them in and out. So I got it pretty much square, 67.5 inch diagonals. This is going to be 4 foot by 4 foot. I got some 4x4s to cut. I'm going to make it about this high, somewhere in here. And I got a old waste management drum that I'm going to sit on here and feed into this gutter right here. This gutter is the one that all the water goes to, and mentioned this in past videos. Actually the last 2 years, I had discovered this drain pipe right here. You can barely see it, it's all kind of clogged in and broken. And I had put a little vacuum hose on this waste management thing, and I fed all the water into that thing. I didn't know where it went to. I discovered where it went to. It goes right there, basically. I think it broke off right about where my finger's pointing to, and completely flooded this whole thing from basically from here, or in front of where the cows would go into the barn, all the way back, not to where the cows are, but kind of where that white stake and green stake are together, right in there. It was just hundreds of gallons every time it rained would just collect right there. I thought that this was, going somewhere else, but maybe it does. It goes down into the pasture. I just didn't dig it all the way up. So we're going to get rid of that. Put a water catchment here. I'm just going to do kind of an experiment with this waste management drum and run water in from a hose all the way back to that corner, and then put some water troughs back there and see if we can't water the cows in the wintertime. At least get rid of this water into their water. And if that works, then I'm going to actually put a water line in, come off. We're going to get an actual rain catchment tank and run water down underneath the ground so it doesn't freeze. Back to the corner, pop it up, and then go into their water troughs, would be by that tree, and then also run it. Eventually what I want to do is run it all the way down against the fence in the back, all the way back down, all the way back to that corner, so the cows can have water back there when they're back in that area. So anyway, I'm going to get working on this. I got it all squared out. I'm going to take this apart and start cutting lumber, putting it in. So we'll be back. Alrighty, fans, Farm Life. So this didn't go exactly as I had planned. Most things don't that I work on. I think that's what the lahom means. Anyway, so what I decided to do is notch these 4x4s out. So these 2x4s are going to have that much more weight on them. So I was going to screw these just into the 4x4, but I think this is a better option because the weight then will be on the 4x4, not really on the 2x4. And then I'm going to have brackets, 2x4s. I'm going to stick some 2x4s across here, and then put 2 layers of 7/16 plywood. So this should be 4 feet by 4 feet square when it's all done. So anyway, I just want to give a little, see where I was at progress-wise, and we'll come back when we get a little bit more going. I do want to get another piece of pressure-treated 2x4, but I think this is just a temporary stand because I'm just going to have regular plywood on top. Probably paint it. It's going to get wet, so anyway, we'll come back and get a little bit more done. Hey fans, Farm Life. So I got the framework done, and it's supposed to be 4 feet by 4 feet. Didn't take into account putting these 2x4s on the outside, which is an extra 3 inches, so it's 48 by 53 or 51. Anyway, I got to cut off basically 3 inches off of this one, 3 inches off of that one, and then slide these over and then try to re-square it. So it's just a matter of moving here and there, here and there. It's just time consuming, but anyway, that's for tomorrow. I got other things to do today, so hopefully we can wrap this up tomorrow. Farm Life out. Alrighty fans, Farm Life. I got this little thing fixed now. Little measurement error. So now we got 4 feet here, 4 feet there, the important measurement, 4 feet there, and then on our square, looks like 67 and 7/8, and then this one over here, it's a little tough to tell because this board's a little screwed up, but I think that's 67 and 7/8, so looks like the square. And we're level. So now I'm going to put some 2x4s in here. I'm going to put 4 of them to help hold the weight. This is going to be pretty heavy, 96 gallons times 8 pounds. You do the math, it's a little under 800 pounds. So, and then if I did put a bigger one on there, we might just go to a whole different system. So this, I believe, helps by seating this inside here so the weight is actually on the 4x4s, which then that's a lot of strength. That's thousands of pounds. So I think we'll be fine here. Anyway, I'm going to move on and get those stringers in. We'll be back. Alrighty, fans, Farm Life. Alright, so I got them all in, and I used for these screws here, you can see them maybe, these brown screws are 1.25" deck screws. These screws here are 2.5 inch wood screws, deck screws. It's all solid in there now. So I'm going to get some plywood. I think what I'll do is put the plywood on. It should, you know, it should fit. It should be 48 by 48. This is pretty square, so. And then I'm just going to draw a line. I'm just going to cut it and then put the other half on and then screw it down in there. The only thing I'm leery about is I didn't change this board out. I could have put a one of those on there, pressure treated, but it was already there. I mean, it's sitting on here. I just didn't like the way all these were screwing into it. But anyway, this is just kind of a temporary build anyway. I think if we put a bigger tank on, I don't know if it's going to hold it or not. So anyway, I'm going to go get the plywood, put down here, cut that, and I'm doubling it up, so it'll be about 1 inch of plywood. And then I'll bring the container out, and we'll get this hooked up. I got one more piece to put on there still. I got to put a drain, like a you know, an outlet, drain outlet on the bottom before I can fill it up and test it. So I do have one on a water tank, a water trough for the cows. I could take that off just to test it. So anyway, I'll be back. Alrighty, fans, farm life. This is a little side note. The battery said 14%, and now I turn it back on, it's 100%. So anyway, got a line here. I don't know if you can see it with the sun. Line going through there. This is almost dead on. I'm about an 1/8 of an inch off, maybe, at that, as far as the square goes. So I'm going to say the plywood's not cut perfect. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And then we're going to double up this plywood on here, so that'll even be that much sturdier. So anyway, I'm going to get this done, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and battery says 18% now. Anyway, got it cut. Use the cart there, hold up the other end, and I'm no finished carpenter. And this is just, it's kind of close enough, but it's a little overhang here. That could be my cut. It's a little crooked over in here. But yeah, I think that's good. I'm just going to get that nailed down. Then I'm going to put that one on top, screw that one down, and then go get the tank, put it up here. I got to somehow strap it down, but this will be good because the ones I was looking at were basically almost 40 inches around. And then there's the, I don't know if you can see it with the sun, there's the downspout right there, and I can just manipulate something to the top of the barrel. So, and then I think I might just end up painting this just because it's going to get wet. And I don't want it to get too ruined. So anyway, we got this on. I'll get the other piece on. We'll start getting it screwed down, and then we'll come back. Alrighty, fans, farm life. So I got them both primered, and I did the bottom piece, and just in case water would get through there somehow, I didn't want it getting ruined. I'm going to use roofing screws when I put these on. I drew some lines here along the edge, so I'm going to snap some lines once I get all these on, so I know where the 2x4s are in there, so I can screw them into there. So it's almost time for the Seahawks game to come on, so I'm going to let this stuff dry, and then come back out at halftime. Maybe it'll be dry enough I can stack them back up and start screwing them in. So anyway, that's a wrap for right now. Farm life out. Alrighty, fans, farm life. Alright, got it in, got it screwed down, 2 layers on. I decided to just go with deck screws, just because I want it flat. Those roofing screws I was going to use would just, be up above. So anyway, got it all done. Football game's on. I'm missing the beginning of the second half. So next we'll get the container on here, and we'll get it hooked up, and we'll get some water in there and see if we can get it to flow right. All right, for right now, it's a wrap. Farm life out. Alrighty, fans, farm life. The moment of truth. So I've got my overflow valve, overflow outlet right here. I got my valve to empty it. It is a little bit high, higher than I really kind of wanted it to, but with the way the hose was going to go, to empty this out, you kind of pump it a little bit. So anyway, that'll probably be a little heavy to try to tip that over, but we'll figure something out. Anyway, this is 96 gallons, so I don't know how long it's going to take to fill this up, probably about 10-15 minutes. And my patch here, I never pressure tested it, I just leak tested it, so I don't know what it would do once I get some weight on here. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, fans, farm life. So, did have a little bit of a snafu, but as you can see, there is water coming out of the hose. I'll just kind of walk back from there, and I'll show you what I didn't reckon with. It's a little cloudy, a little dusty. Cows out here. So I had this all filling nicely, and then as you can see, a little bit of water there. I didn't take into consideration this thing right here. It's just big holes. Didn't even think about it. So once it got to this height, water just started pouring out of it. So just as an experiment, I hooked the hose up to here, opened up the valve, and water did make it all the way down there. And that's at this height. So this height definitely would not be a problem. So anyway, we're going to go back to the drawing board on this. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to patch these two holes. And then we'll try this again probably tomorrow if I can get this patched and glued and sealed. And we'll see what happens. I've got a couple little patches. What I'm going to do is from the inside, I'll put these on the inside. I'll glue them in kind of like I did this big one right here, but I don't think I need, not sure I need the rubber on there. I think I can just put the caulking all through here, stick it on there, and the pressure will hold it. I don't think I even need to screw it in. I think just caulking will work. It's just a matter of keeping it there, keeping some kind of pressure on it so it stays. So I'm going to probably have to empty this out, lean this on one side, do one, let it dry, and lean it on the other side, do the other one. So anyway, that's going down tonight, I guess. Alrighty, fans of farm life. Alright, so you might be able to see in there, it's a yellow piece of plastic. So I glued the other one in. Let's glue this one in. And just use Gorilla Glue. Now, when I did this hole up here, I put rubber down. I glued rubber down with some Gorilla Glue. Then I put when I cut the top out of this, I just used a piece of plastic, and I put some sealant on here, sealed the piece of plastic to the rubber, and then screwed it down with some roofing screws. So, but this I think will be okay. There's the other one on the other side. It seems to be gluing okay. I think what I might do is just throw a bunch of caulking or something in each one of these holes. So I think it's like a 24-hour cure time, but we'll probably give it about 18 hours since I want to fill this up and try it again tomorrow. So anyway, till then, we're just going to let this glue, and hopefully it doesn't, the other one doesn't fall off. One on the bottom, that should be glued. I'll put it on there for about 20 minutes. So anyway, we'll come back tomorrow, see what it looks like. Farm life out. Alrighty, fans, farm life. So as you can see, I got that glued on. Glue's all dripped down here. I think I'm just going to try to get something to scrape that off of. So I think we're good. That's on there pretty solid. That's on there pretty solid. Looks like it's got a nice bead around the back side. So I think we're going to go ahead and do experiment number 2 on this. See if we can get it full again. So we'll come back. Alright, fans, farm life. Let's take 2. Last time we made it to where those bars are, where they put those patches in. So didn't see any of the holes in here, but I guess we'll find out when we start filling this thing up. So it shouldn't take long. It's probably about 10-15 minutes. Alright, I'll come back. Alright, we're coming almost up to test test depth here. There's nothing leaking out of the outlet. Well, there's a little drip right there, so we might need to fix that as well. Just need to tighten that up a little bit. All right, we are approaching test depth. I'm going to go outside. Give that another twist. All right, don't see anything coming out here. We've reached that depth. Okay. Don't see anything leaking. Okay, we are almost above test depth. Okay, so we are there. Don't see anything coming out. So at that pressure, that's going to hold. All right, I'm going to get the hose set up for our drain line. Okay, we are almost full. And I really don't know how much weight this platform can hold, but to me it seems like with the 4x4s and the 2x4s put onto them like this, I got 4 of them, I got stringers going across. This should be thousands of pounds, but I don't know if my extra 230 pounds is going to make a difference. But here we are, we're getting close, a couple more inches. But this is only 100 gallons, or I'm sorry, yeah, 96, yeah, not quite 100 gallons, so that's roughly 800 pounds. One, I don't know what the design for this this waste management thing can hold, but we are another couple of inches away, but I want to get like a 200 gallon. That's 1,600 pounds. So we might do a different design on this. This is just a test, basically to see how the water is going to flow all the way back there in a rainstorm. Okay, we are getting close. And that little hole, will I be able to get enough rain out of that little hole? That's a 3/4 hole. Because it's going to be full the whole time. The only time that water is going to come out is when it's overfilling. So this will always be full. Now the only other thing I can do is maybe make that hole go down a little bit so it doesn't fill up as much. Alright, here we're getting ready to, water is getting ready to go in. So water is going in. Alright, I'm going to take the hose down here. See if we got water coming out. And will we be able to keep up with the rain? That's the other thing. Okay, water is not coming out yet. But it should. There we go. So we got water coming out, not very fast. At this point, not very fast. And I wonder if we're going to overflow. Now I got the hose on pretty good, so I'm not so sure that. Oh, we got a leak. Oh, it came out. Came out. Okay, guess that would make sense. Okay, so we are full of water. I'm gonna put this down. Hopefully it didn't come out again. Thought we had another leak. So this is like 5/8 hose, so I'm thinking about putting 1 inch, burying 1 inch and coming out here. This is really coming out slow. So I think we're probably going to overflow. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the water off. Now I'll come right back. Okay, now we got some good flow going here. It just took a while to get the hose full. So I think we should be able to keep up. And this, I'm going to put a 1 inch line down here too. So, see that? I think so. Okay, I think that's going to work. Alrighty, fans, farm life. So I think this test is, these little leaks are fixable. But the whole test was, will this water go from here all the way back and up to there? And it will. Another test will be when it rains. So I'm going to leave it full. And then I'll take the hose off, but I'll leave it full. And then when it starts raining, then we'll see how it works. All right, so this is a wrap for the waste management rain catchment system platform build, part 1. And when we get some rain, we'll do a part 2. And when we get the rain barrel in, we'll do a part 3. So that's a wrap. Farm life out.